I tried every Japanese snack that I could get my hands on in the UK. I think I've got a pretty good selection here. See, I'm a foodie that will try and love anything, but some of these I'm not too sure on. Let's get into it. I am going to be ranking these snacks in the S tier system. You may be familiar with this. This is the go-to rating system on YouTube, with S being right at the very top all the way down to F. And I'm hoping a lot of these will sit very highly, but honestly, some of the flavors are a little bit interesting. But before we dive into the dry snacks, I did get some fresh ones as well, just to make it an even score. So let's rewind. The store isn't too big, so it's not overwhelming, and they have got a fair good selection. You can buy your own miso, and I love miso soup, guys. It is honestly my favorite thing on the planet, and if ever I go to a Japanese restaurant and they have miso and I love it, I know it's going to be a good restaurant. As well as dinnerware, ceramics, fresh produce, and there's even a cafe inside which serves what I would call fast food. You can get hot drinks, boba, but their upstairs restaurant is actually opening this week. It used to be open, you could go in and sit down and have food, but they're reopening it, I believe, to make it better. So I grabbed 2 bits of sushi and something from the bakery to quickly eat outside and give it a try. Firstly was the miso chicken katsu tamaki, and this was $3.99, which personally I think is a little bit expensive for the size of it. However, I do find the packaging really cool. They keep the nori completely separate so the sticky rice doesn't make it moist and fall apart. I thought this was really innovative, and I've never really seen anything like that before. Japan is just so far ahead of us, and I love it. I did struggle to unwrap this though, because this is the first time I've ever done this, and also I didn't have a proper table. The table had like grates in, and I was really worried about my food falling through. So a little bit of a struggle. I did think all the contents of my tamaki was going to fall on the floor, but it was fine. Although it didn't look amazing, I think it tasted great. I think it could definitely do with a sauce, some soy sauce, as it was just a little bit too dry for me. It's still very standard. I'd probably give this a C. Next was the tuna mayo onigiri, and this was £2.10. Similar packaging style, so I love that. Very innovative, forward thinking, as I said. But I don't know if this was a bit silly of me. I went into this thinking it was going to be raw tuna, because whenever I have had tuna sushi, it is the raw tuna instead of canned tuna, cooked tuna. Looking back, me expecting big beautiful red chunks in there was probably a bit ambitious, as it was canned tuna. And honestly, I would usually eat that. I love canned tuna with sweet corn on a jacket potato, but there was this added oceanic taste because the nori and the canned tuna together, because fresh tuna is raw, it doesn't have that flavor. It's completely different in my opinion. So it was just a bit too much fishiness for my liking. And I also think going into it expecting a completely different texture, a completely different flavor, that really put me off, and I couldn't finish it. I did see tuna sashimi there, so I don't really know why they couldn't also put it in this roll. Maybe the tuna sashimi is prepped freshly on the day, whereas the more packaged stuff, like the onigiri that I picked up, is pre-made by a few more days. Would not buy again. I was going to give it an F, but still for the packaging, I'll give it an E. And next is the strawberry matcha cream sando. I know you guys would have seen these everywhere, but you probably saw the M&S version without the matcha. Of course, M&S once again got inspired by Japanese food and made their own strawberries and cream sando. But let's go back to last night when I got in and I had to eat it because I wanted to make sure it was fresh. 30% off, and it goes out of date today. I took a chance with this. I definitely could have got one of the fresher ones, but I didn't see those until I got to the till, because where the bakery is based is right by the till. This was just in the reduced section as I was walking around. But this is the strawberry matcha cream sando. This looks so messy. I mean, in their defense, this has been in my bag for a good couple of hours. Probably not the best way of keeping it cool. I have to eat it today. As I said, it goes off tomorrow. So it did look a lot more appetizing in the shop. I think I did manage to get a video of that. But they do a normal strawberries and cream. This is a matcha flavor, which is obviously why it's green. I haven't heard raving reviews about just the strawberries and cream one. That is sweet. I don't know how I feel about the bread. The bread is sweet. Strawberries, mega sweet. Like, made my jaw clench a little bit. That cream by itself is phenomenal. It's not too sweet actually, which is nice. It really balances out the sandwich, and it is jam-packed. Oh my gosh, this is so messy. I love the matcha cream. It's not too sweet, which I actually was expecting it to be for cream. The strawberries are so sweet, but in a good way. It balances out. Just not sure on the bread. I actually would rather have the matcha cream with some kind of mochi donut and strawberries, which they did have a lot of those in the store. I have had them before, so I didn't really see a point in buying them, whereas this I've never had. £2.70. Don't think I'd buy it again. Don't know if it was worth £2.70, but I am very glad I tried it just to cross it off the list. So we're back, and I think we should break this up into some categories. And firstly, we've got sweet treats. Having this basket to the side of me is pretty dangerous because I just want to go in and have the whole thing. I would prefer to have savoury first, but I'm going to dive straight into the mochi. So this is the Royal Family Taro mochi, and for those of you who don't know what mochi is, it's a gluttonous rice cake, and if you haven't had it, I highly recommend. But I've never had them not cold. These weren't refrigerated, these were just sat on the shelves. If you guys saw my Harrods video, you would have seen that I had one filled with cream as opposed to ice cream, which a lot of the popular mochis that you can get in any store at the minute, they have ice cream in. Packaging is okay. Not screaming my name, but it's okay. It smells very savoury. I love the feeling of mochi. It is so soft. So a pack of 6 was £2.59. I'd pay that. I've paid more for just one mochi before. And it comes in its own cute little bed. Very chewy, but I love that. I love the texture of mochi. I don't know if you can see, but it's just so bouncy. Mochi is such a good treat. I really like this, actually. I will say they don't look anything like what they do on the package. The inside is more of a beige than a purple. Flavour's not too strong, but overall it's a nice little treat for £2.59. And the texture is just so satisfying. So this next one, I believe the brand is pronounced Kasungai. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But these are fruity and soft strawberry gummies. I just know I'm gonna absolutely love the texture of this. I just hope I love the flavour. It does say it's with real fruit juice though, so. Oh, they're even pre-packaged. Oh wow, they smell amazing. They just feel so squishy. Really hoping that I love these. I aim to get flavours of things that I really liked. So for example, they did have a grape version of this, but I know I wouldn't like that. So in order to not be biased, I went with strawberry. Again, love the texture. I would honestly describe that like gummy bears on crack. The flavour of those is so powerful, but not overpowering. I'm gonna have to have another one of them. They're gluten-free. My gluten-free girls, here you go. I'm not gonna lie, I'm rating them pretty incredible. The flavour stays in your mouth as well, which I love, because the problem with sweets for me is the flavour's over too quickly, the fun's gone too quick. I really loved those. I would say they're worth £3.69. I'm probably gonna rate them an A, mainly because it is a lot of plastic for them to be individually wrapped, but I guess that's what keeps them so preserved. I do just wish there was a better way to package these that wasn't so plasticky. Lychee flavoured soft candy, where are you? Where may you be? Again, obviously not the best with brands, but it does say UHA up here, and on the receipt it says UHA Karor. If someone could cooperate with me, that would be fab. And these were £2.20, so these are a gummy again. I love the packaging of this. I don't think these ones are individually wrapped, but I just love that it's like a little pocket. There was also a strawberry flavour of this. There were so many different flavours of these actually, but I thought to just change it up because I feel like they're going to be so similar to the strawberry ones. Ooh. They're not individually wrapped, which is good, like I said, and they seem to have remained pretty preserved, but I'm just not sure on the smell. Oh wow, that is so interesting. Kind of feels like a boob. It's literally squishy, like as if it's about to burst. Okay, I'm hoping I like this. I do like actual lychees. Oh wait, I don't know if I just ate the packaging. Did I just eat the packaging? No, it doesn't seem like you can peel that off. I'm unsure on that texture because the outer layer, it's kind of wrapped in something, but it doesn't peel off and it's not thick enough to be a wrapper. But you can feel that in your mouth. I guess it kind of is the same consistency as apple skin. You know, you can tell the difference between the flesh of the apple and the skin, but it's so thin that it doesn't feel like that at the same time. It's making my mouth water. That's how juicy that is. Texture wise, I prefer the strawberry gummy. Flavor wise, I definitely prefer the lychee. It's just something a little bit different, something that I don't have too often. And packaging, I'd also go for the lychee, but I rated these an A, and I feel like I'm gonna rate these an A as well. That skin just puts me off a little bit. Now we have the Hello Pandas. Here they are. You know how popular these are. Come on. These are crazy popular. Everyone loves these. And Hello Panda, this specific flavour actually kept coming up on my For You page, and it was basically what inspired this whole trip to the Japan Centre. I know you can get these anywhere, but they seem to be relatively affordable in the Japan Centre. These are £1.55. I think that's pretty good. Let's crack this open. I love the packaging again. Just rip that open, so cool. Oh, it's in a packet. I didn't realise it was going to come like that. I guess it keeps them preserved, which is good. Okay, the smell isn't too overpowering. It's kind of sickly sweet. Does that make sense? Like, it kind of smells like sick a little bit. I think each one has a different design, maybe? Oh, it seems that way. They're all different. That's really reminded me of being a kid. It tastes like rusks. If any of you ever had rusks when you were growing up, that's what it tastes like. The strawberry, I wouldn't have even guessed actually. If you just told me this was filled with cream, I'd believe you. I'm not seeing the hype. They're pleasant. Probably have one if someone offered it me, but I'm not taking those if I see them on a shelf. I think I'm gonna give these a C. I'm very in the middle about these. They're nice, but they're not incredible. Pockies. I mean, Pocky sticks, everyone knows what Pocky sticks is. I think this is probably one of the most popular Japanese snacks. Good source of fibre, crispy and tastier. Maybe they've improved the recipe. I've had the Oreo ones, I've had the originals, but again, similar packaging. I love this. It's just a little pop in. So Pocky is just some kind of crisp breadstick dipped in a flavour, and this flavour is strawberry. They smell like a strawberry milkshake. Ugh. What? It kind of tastes like cheese. I don't know. The actual breadstick part at the end to me just tastes like a burnt bit of toast. If that's your jig, then you'd probably like these. But going into it knowing that it's a strawberry flavoured biscuit, I'm not getting that. I'm not seeing the strawberry. And they were £1.49. Don't know if I was expecting too much from £1.49. There's just nothing special going on there. Maybe even an E. I love the packaging. I'm gonna go D, just because I like other ones. Next we have mango mochi, and I'm so excited about this one because I love mango flavoured anything. It's my favourite flavour of anything in the whole world apart from strawberry. But strawberry is just like boring, plain simple to me now. Mango is where it's at. And I love the ice cream mango mochi. This says Yuki and Love, which is a different brand to the Taro ones, packaged individually. And they're a lot smaller. Ooh, I see. Oh, very easily accessible. Again though, a lot of plastic. Each individual one is individually wrapped. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So they come in these little packets. You can smell them as soon as they come out the box. It's such a delicate little bead. Like, it's so soft. Their mochi I don't think is as neat as the Taro one. Like, you can see where this one has been joined. However, I don't know if that's meant on purpose to make it look like a chunk of mango. Because if you look, it really does look like a mini bit of mango. Oh, it's so squishy. Oh. I think I like this at all. The inside is not what I thought it would look like at all. What the fuck? I know why I don't like it. That tasted exactly like a Turkish Delight with mochi wrapped around it. And I don't love Turkish Delight. In fact, I hate Turkish Delight. It is, in my opinion, the most foul tasting thing. If you love Turkish Delight, you'd love these. I've got 11 for you, babe, if you want them. Okay, we have one more sweet treat, and this is the Yan Yan chocolate flavored biscuit dip snack. I have also seen everyone talking about these. This is from the brand Meiji. Correct me if I'm wrong. They actually had a few different flavors of these, but I thought I'd just go with the regular chocolate. One thing to know about me though is I don't love chocolate spreads that aren't Nutella. Yeah, I've been spoiled with the flavors of Nutella over the years. But these are £1.55. I think it's a relatively sized package. Is that the same size? Wow. Okay. Whoa. There's facts on them. This one says owls are active at night. The whale is the biggest mammal. What? This is so educational. I assume maybe then that this is marketed more towards kids, but I am gonna really enjoy reading the facts. Do you only have 3 facts for me? Yan Yan? Golden egg. What does that mean? Did I just win something? What does that mean? I need to search immediately. Didn't win anything, just searched it up. Apparently it's just like a little inside Easter egg. Fans of Yan Yan. I'm gonna show you, it doesn't dip in too far. Surely not. That's as far down as the chocolate spread goes in this absolutely massive package. It's quite nice to hold actually. It smells like I might like it. That's quite nice. I'm getting a flavour of some kind of cereal at the end and I can't put my finger on what it is. It's not a cereal, it's smoky bacon crisps. What? Okay, that's very strange. Okay, I don't know what that flavour profile was. I don't know where that came from. All I can taste in my mouth now is smoky bacon with a hint of chocolate. The chocolate was nice. It didn't taste like cheap chocolate. You know, in England we have a lot of advent calendars with cheap chocolate in and they just don't taste very nice. You definitely know about that if you didn't get a Cadbury's White Christmas. Either way, still very grateful to receive an advent calendar. I'm actually sad because I haven't had an advent calendar for quite a few years now. I think it's because my nan always used to buy me an advent calendar and sadly she's no longer with us, but maybe I can bring back the tradition. I'm also gonna give that a C. No. Because I'm unsure about it. It doesn't give me the flavours that it says it does. The smoky bacon threw me off. However, it was still quite nice. Don't know why, but it was. This little bad boy technically crosses over into savoury. This is a melon pan. Beats me. I had no idea what it was, but my whole For You page did. So it's a Japanese sweet bun covered in a layer of crispy cookie dough, apparently. I mean, to me, it's not looking like that. I'm not seeing a cookie dough. That's what the internet told me, and that's what I'm gonna believe. Apparently, the texture resembles that of a melon, such as as a cantaloupe, but it isn't melon flavored. So I am interested as to why it's called melon pan. I guess it's just the texture. It got a little bit squished on my way home. To me, it smells like brioche. Brioche is a sweet bun. Love the crisscrossing. I'm intrigued what's going to be on the inside. I can see the sugared crystals on the top, and it tastes like custard. The layers inside of it is so cool. It's basically what I'd imagine a croissant to be if the pastry was a lot thicker, but without the crispy, flaky outside. This is soft through and through. I know what they mean about the texture. It's not as hard as a melon, but because of how many layers it's got, it isn't soft. This is really nice. Like eating cake batter. I really like this. Because I kind of want to rate that an S. I know I said it. I said it. Because it's the first one that I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't stop eating it. This next one I have wanted to try for so long, but I don't have high hopes as I know it's a very unique taste. But firstly, I will need some onions, preferably green onion, but I didn't have it. So we're just going with my trusty old red onion. I know it's a lot more potent. I'm doing the best with what I got. Soy sauce, some chopsticks. Which when I was younger, I used to go to this place near me called China City all the time, like every birthday. And one year they gifted me chopsticks and a spoon. I must have been like 6. My nan kept them for me, and then when I moved to uni, she gave me them. And still to this day, I haven't used them. So why not christen them now, eh? And the reason for this is natto. It's a traditional Japanese food made from whole soybeans that have been fermented. And I got this for £3.75 at the Japan Centre. A lot of the pre-packaged ones that aren't as fresh usually come with a kashari mustard, some kind of vinegar. I don't have either of those. So this is usually served as a breakfast food with rice. As I said, scallions, soy sauce, mustard, etc. But I do know that I have to stir it for 20 to 30 seconds in order for it to become quite sticky. I mean, you can already see, wow, that's pretty interesting. It has this cool texture. It's so interesting. I've never seen anything like this in my life. So this is actually something called the polyglutamic acid that is making it stringy like this. But this is packed with protein, vitamins. It's also been known to be really good for your heart. Apparently it can be quite pungent, earthy, slightly bitter and umami with almost an ammonia type smell, but I'm not getting that. I think we're nearly there though. It just smells like chocolate. This is so weird. I've never heard anyone say it smells like chocolate though, so I don't really understand. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna try a little bit without anything. I know it suggests not to, but I'm just kind of curious on what the flavor is. Do you wish it was a little bit stickier? The videos that I've seen, they literally have gloops and gloops, and I want that. Some people have also said it's kind of cheesy. I'm gonna take a little bit and try. Oh, I see what they mean about the ammonia. Wow, that is such an interesting flavor. I definitely see the requirement for the soy sauce, so I'm gonna add that. Very bang on the money with ammonia there. That, honestly, I can imagine it with mustard. It definitely needs something added to it because my goodness, that is a very interesting pungent flavor. The initial flavor is really nice. It's just the aftertaste. Apparently it's really good for you, so I'm gonna keep eating it. No, it's getting to that point now where I can't have any more. That aftertaste is very interesting. I would absolutely love to say that I like this, but I don't. I want to say I can see the appeal, but I just don't. I can imagine if you're used to this flavor of food or you were brought up on it, for example, absolutely I get it. This would be rated a lot higher in my ranking, but of course I've never been exposed to any type of food like this, so it's a flavor shock for sure. The health benefits for a snack, I mean, that's pretty good. So I'm gonna give it an E because the flavor for me is just not cutting it. Okay, next up, I'm so excited to try these savory snacks. I'm a savory girl over anything, so I love these. Teriyaki Original Premium Japanese Potato Chips. This is from a brand called Koikea. Not what I was expecting. They have no smell. Okay, I got these for £2.20, so I'd like to think they're a little bit flavorful for a bag like this for £2.20. Whoa, that flavor at first was very strong, and now it just tastes like potato. There's a little underlying flavor, but nothing major. It does say on the back of these that teriyaki is obviously a national flavour of Japan, but it says it has a hint of smokiness with sweetness and salt added. I'm an English person. I obviously can't dictate a Japanese owned crisp brand about their flavour of teriyaki because I'm British. And they are right, it is a hint. It's a hint of a flavour. But for me personally, I just love the flavours to be a bit more bold. Whereas if they branded this as a lightly smoked potato crisp, that kind of fits the flavour profile more. I'm gonna rate the teriyaki ones a C. Do I want to do a D? There's quite a lot in there. I'll give it a C. Oh my goodness, I love tomato flavoured things. The packaging is so pristine. This is a thick boy. I do love that all of their crisps tear from the side. You're not gonna believe how little amount of crisps is in here. That, where my finger is to, that is the amount of crisps in this premium pristine packet. These are $2.99 as well, but they smell exactly like I love. My boyfriend's South African, and whenever they go to South Africa, or if we visit or a family member does, we will always bring back the Simba chips that are tomato flavored. They're just so good, and I'm hoping these taste like these. I know they look completely different. For example, this is a Simba chip. Obviously looks very different to this style of crisp. This is more of like a crinkle cut. It's not going to be as thick as a Simba crisp, but they smell like it, so I'm just hoping it's the same. But let's see what they taste like. Wow, my mouth is watering. That is nothing like a Simba crisp, but I love it. Do I? There's a weird sweetness taste that I assume would be the artificial sweetness. What's in here that I don't like? Sweetener, yeah. And I wish it didn't have it. If it didn't have it, these would be my favorite crisps in the whole world. Simba crisps takes it, sorry guys. I'm gonna rate those a D. They had potential, but just didn't cut it. Actually, I'm gonna give it an E because hello, £3, like $2.99, that's pretty spenny. I don't know, I wouldn't buy them again. That's literally a handful of crisps for $2.99. I nearly forgot to put these ones in, and I'm so shocked because I was most looking forward to these. These are the prawn flavored peanut snacks, and it's actually from the same brand that we tried one of the sweet treats from. Katsu, guys. I still love how you can just open them from the side. Whoa, they're huge. That is a smell I never want to smell ever again. It's like fishy peanuts, would you believe? Very full, whereas a lot of the crisps, they aren't. There is no prawn in that whatsoever. They're really, really sweet. Wow. I didn't get any prawn until the very end, but it kind of tastes like a very natural prawn flavor, not artificial, not like prawn cocktail, just more of like the head of a prawn. I don't mind them, but they are very, very sweet. So as of right now, I'd probably give them a B. They're a B on my scale. I'm gonna have one more for good measure. See, that one wasn't as sweet. Maybe I just had one with a lot of flavoring. That's what they look like on the inside. I think I'm gonna actually drop it down. It's not a B, it's a C. They're just far too sweet. I don't want that with peanuts. I love like spicy barbecue peanut or a chili heat wave. Okay, next we have some potato snacks. Here. So these are the Shibuya Imo Kempi sweet potato stick snack. These were £1.99. It doesn't feel like there's much in there again either, but Imo Kempi, from what I think it is a sweet, hard, crunchy, old style Japanese snack. And these are coated in sugar, made with sweet potato, cooked in vegetable oil, added salt. Oh wow, these should have been in sweets. It's a fun little twist on a potato snack I've never had. If you can get past that weird artificial aftertaste, I love the texture. I think I've saved best till last with this. Yeah, you know that's right. Want mini rice crackers chicken flavor. You want mini rice cracker chicken flavor. Yeah. I used to eat these all the time when I was younger. I've never had the chicken flavor ones. I usually have some kind of, I think they just call it oriental spice. Exactly, that's what I'm talking about. S tier. What a way to finish. Oh, make it ready. But you know what? I think I need something to wash it down with. I love these freaking drinks. But this is the Hater Kozen pineapple flavored Ramune soda. So the first time I ever had one of these was in Marugame Udon, and I wanted to try one for so long. I hadn't gone there specifically for that because I didn't even know they did them. In the top here is a marble, and once that marble hits this part, it turns the drink fizzy. And I got the pineapple flavor. I've had just the normal lemonade one before. £2.65. Let's see what you got. Oh my days. I don't want to break a nail. What the fuck? Oh my days. Ow! That hurt so bad, and I'm not even... Minus 10 points for the fact I can't even open it. Oh, I'm such an idiot! And then I popped that in. I was like, surely that's ridiculous. Still an idiot. Have you got it? Cutting into my finger, the plastic. Bro, I can't. Okay, now I'm sweaty. I imagine you're out in the street and you're doing this. Like, I'm going around to everyone asking, can you open this? Thank you, Clara. Farah somehow managed to do it, and as you can see, the marble makes it fizzy. The only thing that I don't like about this product is the hole.
You don't like a hole?
Because I feel like it's just not really easy drinking, and you can't screw this top off or anything, so let's just try it. I love that. It's just such a cool little contraption. Like, I love it. Such an innovative drink. I do wish it was easier to use though. As you just saw, I struggled a lot. I'm gonna rate this an A because I love the idea of the product and it does taste incredible, but it is just a little bit too difficult to get into. Even once I'd figured out that I needed to rip the thing off, it was still really hard to push it in, and I don't know if I'm just weak, but it really hurts. So that is it for today's video. Do let me know if you have ever tried any of these snacks. I'm so curious. Also, please let me know on pronunciation, of course. If this is one of your favorite childhood snacks, I don't know. I could have just absolutely slaughtered and slandered your favorite treat. I feel like when you grow up having something, of course, the nostalgia just has such an impact on whether you love a product. Like, I love Freddos because I grew up with Freddos and the blue fizzy worms and the watermelons and the brains. I know that sounds ridiculous if you don't know what they are, but I love them because I grew up with them. Whereas someone who's never tried them before might be like, yeah, it's mid. It's pretty mid. And also, what country should I try next? I just went out on a whim with the Japan Center, but I don't know. If you guys can let me know in the comments any other good places to get one country's snacks from, I'll do it. I love filming content like this and just trying new things, and I cannot wait to share all of this with my boyfriend's family and my friends. I'm staying at Tears this weekend, so this will not go to waste, don't you worry. I live in a house of hoovers. If you want to check out my other videos, then make sure you hit subscribe, like, and also turn on the bell notification to be notified anytime I upload. I do food related content, makeup. I also do music. If you want to check out my music on all streaming platforms, that will be linked below in the description. And aside from that, cheers. I'll see you in the next video, groovy girls.